Fox Sports.
We are Fox. We are Florida.
Deep in the heart, the Marlins are here tonight. Globe Life Park in Arlington as Miami jumps from the National League Central into the American League West. Interleague play. Marlins have not been here since 2014, but Marlin fans in Texas coming out tonight. Fish won 2 of 3 against the Reds. Tonight, it's Marlins and Rangers. Hi, everybody. Rich Waltz along with a former Ranger. True. Todd Hollinsworth. Let's talk Marlins on the road. Good series in Cincinnati. Took 2 of 3. Ball club is playing well on the road right now.
Yeah, they really are. 8-3 of their last 11 ball games on the road. And the one thing that stands out is nothing stands out. I guess to me that's the best part about this whole story is that different times this year we can kind of peg why the team is winning. It's the offense, it's the homers, the bullpen's great. But through this winning streak on the road, everybody's contributed.
And in the 2 wins, the last 2 wins on the road, JT Realmuto has been outstanding. This young catcher has blossomed in the last 2 years, and his offense was big in Cincinnati.
Now, the one thing that stands out for me in JT in the series he had in Cincinnati is that he didn't miss his pitch as well as anybody in the entire series. Again, he had the 2 doubles, he had the 2 home runs as well. Great series, swinging the bat particularly well, getting into hitters counts and not missing your pitch. It's what it comes down to. It's always the key to great hitting and great numbers offensively is when you earn yourself that 3-1 fastball, don't miss it. Well, you don't hit 369, second in the big leagues on the road all season long by fouling off your pitch.
No, and you know what? The Rangers may miss some pitches, but this is a dangerous Texas team. They homer, they steal bases, they have an explosive offense. And so for Adam Conley tonight, it's really a test.
Well, it certainly is. He's done a nice job. Good start last time out. Solid 6 innings against the Philadelphia Phillies. But when you look at this Texas Rangers lineup and how they score runs, and they can score runs, it's with the long ball. 8 Texas Rangers are already in double digits in home runs this year.
Texas Rangers, Miami Marlins, little interleague baseball tonight. Lone Star Baseball. First of 3 starts on a Monday night. Deep in the heart. contractors. Find out more at www.vicopainting.com. And by your local Toyota dealers. Let's go places. And by Southwest Transparency. Low fares, nothing to hide. It used to be the ballpark in Arlington. It's still in Arlington. It's still a ballpark. It's Globe Life Park. New ballpark here, hopefully, fingers crossed, by 2020. Marlins and Rangers on a night that really, speaking of heat, isn't that bad compared to the first couple nights in Cincinnati. This will be the new home of the Rangers. And envision the same area that's around the new ballpark in Atlanta. That will go between Jerry World, the big football stadium, and the new Rangers ballpark.
Right, it's kind of like the new theme in baseball, right? Not only build a new ballpark, but build a mini city to go along with it. You know, there's supposed to be apartments, office buildings, and all sorts of entertainment. Quite a little town, if you will.
I think we've caught a huge break. First of all, there's no one to kick D. Gordon in the shins tonight. Before that was in Cincinnati yesterday. And it's only 89 degrees here in Dallas. Southwest brings you Miami's lineup. D. Gordon in the leadoff spot. Giancarlo Stanton hits second. Christian Yelich slotted third. Marcell Ozuna in the cleanup spot. We just talked about Real Muto. You see the hit streak on the road is at 9 games. It's American League Baseball at DH. That means Justin Bour is the DH tonight, and that gets Tyler Moore in there against the lefty. Derek Dietrich is at third base, and Miguel Rojas hits ninth and plays short. And Martin Perez is the pitcher for the Rangers.
Yeah, on the mound tonight, 6 foot, 200 pounds, 26 years old. He's been around for a little while, but he's only 26 years old. He's been a top prospect for this Texas Rangers team for quite some time. He's gone through Tommy John. All right, here you go. Auto Nation scouting report trending down. He really has. He's looking to build off a solid year last year. Now, last year was his first full season in the rotation, made 33 starts. But this year he's taken a step back. Lefties and righties both hitting over 300 against him. The batting average on balls in play, get this, 353. OPS against him, 836. So every batter that's stepping into the box has technically got good numbers against him. That tells you where he's at. Now, change it up. It's his best secondary pitch, and it's probably part of his problem. Throws it about 20% of the time to get those swings and misses more than any other pitch. And the other thing I do hear around here in Texas, the low zone. He loves to keep the ball down. Keep that in mind. He's good at getting ground ball double plays, but this Marlins team loves the low fastball.
Rangers are not a great defensive team, but they do have some skill guys out there, and here they are.
They got some defenders, particularly up the middle. All right, Mazzara, DeShields, Chu. That's the outfield for the Rangers tonight. Adrian Beltre, 11 hits shy of 3,000. Andrus Odor, Napoli over at first base. Jonathan Lucroy, remember him from the National League? That's right. Martin Perez on the mound.
Great hitters environment here in Texas, as was Cincinnati, where the Marlins just took 2 of 3. D. Gordon in the box. Perez ready to go. And this series begins with a fastball that misses in, and it's 1-0 to D. Gordon.
D would love to start off tonight's ball game much like he did in Cincinnati. Well, in fact, all 3 games in Cincinnati in the first inning led off with a single.
Giancarlo Stanton on deck. Gordon taps that one foul, and the count is 1 ball and 1 strike. Gordon in yesterday's ball game was 1 for 4, and he bunted with 2 strikes for a hit. Stole the bag, his 35th of the season, but Miami fell short 6-3 after winning the first 2 games of that series against the Reds. 1-1, shot off the glove of Beltre, trickles down the line. Gordon's not stopping, racing for second, and he's in there. And just holds on to the bag after a vicious slide that almost took him into left field.
Well, it took that kind of speed around first to get all the way to second. So yeah, that momentum almost carried him past second base. Slashes it down the third base line. As I said, Martin Perez doesn't pitch up in the zone too often. D gets on top of it. Beltre to the backhand, knocks it down, but not able to come up with the baseball. So D on his horse.
And speaking of often, you don't often see a ball like that get by Adrian Beltre, one of the better third baseman defensively in his era. That's a base hit for Gordon, a double, and here's Stanton now. And these two have been in this spot a lot lately, with Gordon at second, Stanton at the plate with nobody out.
Yeah, we watched a couple times in the Cincinnati series. D would take off to third base. steal third and set Stanton up for an RBI opportunity with a runner on third as opposed to second.
Jonathan Lucroy is an average thrower behind the plate. Perez, though, controls the running game quite well. He's given up just 1 stolen base this year, and he nearly gets Gordon at second. There's your stolen base leaders. Gordon even with Trey Turner in the major leagues. Billy Hamilton 8 ahead of him at 43. Certainly catchable if you're thinking about a stolen base crown, of which D. Gordon has a couple in his career. 2014, 2015. Stanton drives one left field deep, up and gone. A 2-run shot, and Miami is off to a booming start. .31 on the season.
And Stanton 2 for 12 on the road trip until that at bat. 10 home runs, 17 RBIs his last 15 games. My goodness, all over it. Looking to drive him in. Drives himself in. Great swing from Stanton.
Just like that, it's 2-0. Here's Yelich.
That is that lane we talked about in the Cincinnati series, that inner third. If you don't get it far enough in on Giancarlo Stanton, whew, he will make you pay right now.
Yelich pulls one on the ground to second. Rougned Odor on to first. And there's the first out of the ball game.
Let's take another look at it. He's just his new swing, his new approach. He's just keeping his hands nice and close to his body, that front foot, that little closed stance that he has. But he's got some ownership over the inner third.
That is one of the most compact swings I've ever seen on a Stanton home run.
Kept his hands right inside that baseball at 93 miles an hour. He's got a good fastball. It doesn't move a whole lot. But again, when you're looking at a particular place like he has been, you just become reactionary.
Aaron Judge at 32, Stanton now at 31. And Ozuna chases. And the count 0-1.
Marcel picked up a pinch hit RBI single in yesterday's ball game in Cincinnati. He was having a bit of a slow trip, 2 for 9 on the trip.
Ozuna at 23 homers, the 71 driven in. He's had him in the top 10 for a long time in the National League. Ozuna right now 6th. Nolan Arenado is now at 86 driven in. Top the National League. Nelson Cruz of Seattle at 75 leads the American League. We might as well check in on the American League tonight. 3 games here in Texas, American League baseball. Tonight, Don Mattingly giving Justin Bour not the night off, but a night off from defense, and it allows him to stack a good right-handed bat in against this lefty, with Tyler Moore playing first.
Different look to the lineup tonight. It's filled with another power hitter and Tyler Moore. The length of this lineup looks very, very good. Marcell Ozuna lately, particularly in the Cincinnati series, kind of expanding his zone just a little bit. That real good Marcell Ozuna, who showed that discipline, was able to kind of corral his swing, particularly at different times with 2 strikes. See if Marcell can't get back to that guy.
That one fouled at the plate. Perez out of Venezuela, a 26-year-old, spent some time on the disabled list. See that blue bandage on the right thumb? Be careful in your hotel room, partner, because that's where he broke his thumb. He caught his thumb in the hotel door, and it lacerated and fractured his thumb. And Ozuna cracks it into left field for a base hit. That is the prototypical Ozuna at bat lately, isn't it? He chases a pitch out of the zone, and then as the at bat goes, he dials in, and then knocks one for a hit.
He seems to shorten up when he gets himself to 2 strikes, which is great, but there's that wildness that you're seeing kind of at the beginning of the at bat, and that's not what you want to see. But Marcell, nice job here. This is a hanging breaking ball and does what he's supposed to do with it. Stays behind it and drives it into left field for a single.
By the way, the StatCast on Stant, 429 in terms of distance, 24 degrees launch angle, 110 miles an hour. And here is Real Muto. And I know sometimes the StatCast numbers don't make a lot of sense because there's not a lot of perspective and context. But that low homer that Real Muto hit in Cincinnati is the lowest launch angle, the lowest line drive home run in his career. And
19, wasn't it?
It was a bolt, yeah. Anything under 20 is really low, and his got out of the park in Cincinnati with a lot to spare.
Right. As impressive as Stanton's home run was, and that's the one that counts. Not as impressive as the one everybody's raving about in batting practice. Supposedly hit one out to the Hyundai sign, Hyundai car sign, here at Globe Life Park in batting practice today. Oof.
Well, this is a ballpark where 2 runs is not going to be enough. It's like a Big 12 football game. It's going 49-47. You got to get your runs and you got to keep scoring. And Real Muto now sitting on a 3-0 pitch, glances down at Freddie Gonzalez at third. JT on base at a 361 clip. The slugging percentage coming out of Cincinnati at 475. He takes a strike. Ozuna's at first if you just tuned in. A double by D. Gordon and a long home run by Giancarlo Stanton. End of the bat, changeup, 3-2.
Yeah, that's his go-to pitch when he's in trouble. He'll use that changeup. In fact, gets more swing and misses at that changeup than any other pitch he throws. He's already made a few mistakes with his breaking ball. His slider doesn't throw it nearly as much, about 9.5% of the time, but gets hit very, very hard. Hitters hitting 400 against the pitch.
1 out. Ozuna not a big lead. Perez to the plate. Ozuna runs and Real Muto rips one into left. It bounces in front of Mazara for a hit, and Miami has their 4th hit of the inning. And here comes Justin Bour. Real Muto stays hot on the road. Add another hit to all those totals we just showed you. Road hit streak at 10 now. Batting average on the road goes up.
Now this is just like the home run he hit, except it's a changeup up. I mean, he gets out in front of it just a little bit more. I mean, remember we talked about that trajectory, that low trajectory, the long line drive that he hit for the home run. Again, this is a single to left, but the only difference is he missed it by just a small margin on the bat.
All right, here's Bour now. Justin was 1 for 4 yesterday. Swung the bat very well in Cincinnati. 5 hits in the series. And he takes a strike. And of course, one of the big breakthroughs for Bour, aside from that performance in the home run derby and all the numbers you see there, is his performance against left-handed pitching. It's been outstanding. And that was a question going into spring training and, quite honestly, coming out of spring training.
And to show you how consistent he's been, he's reached base safely in his last 18 starts.
Got jammed there. And the count's 0-2. Bour against lefties, 6 homers and a 328 average, and he's going to see another one and a really good one tomorrow in Cole Hamels.
Well, and this isn't just surviving lefties. That's better than most righties do against lefties. You see how solid those numbers are. 328 with 6 bombs.
Hamels and Darvish await the Marlins in the next 2 games here. Bour hits a slow roller to short. Andrus, there's the turn by Odor, and it's in time to get Bour, who still has a sore foot from yesterday. Giancarlo Stanton, welcome to Texas. 2-0 Miami. 2-0 start. Giancarlo Stanton's 31st. And now here's the lineup that Adam Conley will face. Carlos Gomez, the designated hitter. Shin-Soo Choo is in right. Elvis Andrus at short. Adrian Beltre, the third baseman. Party at Napoli's tonight at first base. Rougned Odor is at second. Jonathan Lucroy is the catcher. Nomar Mazara is in left. And Delano DeShields Jr. is in center, and he hits ninth.
Here's Adam Conley, his 8th start of the season. Let's buy into the road starts. That's what we want to focus on. Don't look at that earned run average. No need for that. 2-0, 3 starts on the road, 2.20 ERA with a whip of 1.22. So he's been outstanding. He's got an advantage. Rangers have never faced him before, so I talk about this an awful lot. That first time through the lineup, if he's on his game, he should be able to make some pitches and hopefully get through.
Conley to the plate. That one popped up behind first. That's Tyler Moore, and he makes the catch. Carlos Gomez. We hardly had a chance to introduce Carlos Gomez. Here's the Marlins defensively.
Marcell Ozuna's getting the start back in left field today. Christian Yelich, Giancarlo Stanton, Derek Dietrich, third base, Miguel Rojas, D. Gordon, Tyler Moore over at first, JT Realmuto back in there, and Adam Conley on the mound.
Here's Tyler Moore. Now you've got Hamels going tomorrow night, so there's a chance that he'll be in there tomorrow night as well. Shin-Soo Choo, the 35-year-old Korean, steps in. He's been slumping lately, but he's always had a great on base. He's at 362 on base, 14 homers. He's driven in 48. Oftentimes you see him in the leadoff spot because of that on base. Over the middle, Rojas is there, and he makes a catch. 2 outs here in the first.
2 outs on 5 pitches. Good to see from Conley attacking the strike zone and getting a couple quick outs.
Here's Andrus now. Andrus, the 28-year-old Venezuelan, who's been at shortstop now. Can it be that long? 9 years he's been the starting shortstop for the Rangers.
A long-term deal. Very productive, has become more offensive this year. Already a career high with 13 home runs. The interesting note on this, 11 have actually been on the road.
He had a very good year last year, and he played hurt most of the year. He had a sports hernia that the Rangers had to nurse him through, and he hit 302, the first time he'd been over 300 in his career. Also stole 24 bases. With a sports hernia, to do that, that's not easy.
No. Now he finds himself hitting third in this Rangers lineup.
And the Rangers, who are 2 under, but bunched in with a lot of other American League wild card hopefuls, just had a roller coaster of a road trip, getting swept in 4 in Baltimore and then sweeping the Rays. And Andrus sends one into left field for a hit. Now Andrus runs, and so he's a threat with Beltre coming to the plate. Jeff Bannister in his 3rd year here, 53 years old. 2 consecutive American League West titles. Last year they were swept by Toronto in the division series. And Beltre shoots one to right field. Charging is Stanton. Andrus is going to get to third easily. Now the Rangers, after 2 out, have runners at first and third.
Back-to-back pitches, Beltre.
And he's one step closer to 3,000. He's 10 hits away now from 3,000 in his great career.
First pitch swinging on a fastball away. He's done this throughout his career. He is not afraid. You know, you look at the way that this Texas Rangers lineup is constructed, and yes, there's a lot of boppers, a lot of big swingers, guys who will strike out a lot. Well, the 2 guys on base right now for the Rangers are the 2 that don't do it. Andrus, Beltre, both fairly disciplined hitters, take their walks, and they'll shorten up their swings with 2 strikes. You see the list right there. Adrian Beltre at 31st, 29.90, 10 short. Roberto Clemente.
Napoli with a big cut. He fouls it at the plate. It's too bad. I wish he were closer because I'd love to see him do it here.
I was just thinking that, but I was like, I'm not sure we want to see him get 11 hits, do we?
No, that's why I'm saying I wish he was at 96 or 97.
Right. Well, no, I agree with you wholeheartedly. I was thinking the same thing. Listen, I got to play with Adrian Beltre when he got to the big leagues, when he was a baby, when he was a teenager. Look what he's done with his career. Great to see.
Napoli has a major league beard going right now. There's a count of 1-1. This is usually the look that Danny Espinosa has before spring training starts. He always brings that beard in for publicity day and then gets ready to go. And Napoli fouls it back to the screen. This guy's had a really nice career, Mike Napoli, and he's a local kid. Pembroke Pines, Flanagan High School. Fort Lauderdale guy in his 12th year in the big leagues. A lot of World Series experience with the Rangers back in 11, 1-1 with Boston in 13, and then was back there last year with Cleveland. 1-2.
Well, lots of power, and maybe he kind of sums up the Texas Rangers offensively. Lots of home runs and lots of strikeouts. 21 home runs on the season. 104 strikeouts already in 282 at bats. That is a lot of strikeouts.
2-2. Struck him out. Napoli doesn't like it. Drops the helmet. Drops the bat.
105. Sorry.
Jerry Davis rings him up, and Adam Conley works a scoreless first. Is any indication, 6 hits combined for these two teams. This could be a wild ride of a 3-game series. Tyler Moore coming up. And he'll face Martin Perez. Coming up, Michael Hill, president of baseball operations for the Marlins. Lots of questions to ask for sure. Moore climbs in. Giancarlo Stanton home run, providing Miami with a 2-0 lead.
Good to see Tyler Moore get the start. His last 10 starts, .361 batting average, 4 doubles and 4 homers. Yeah, that's my job to remind you how good he was when Justin Bour was out. Did not get an opportunity to start in Cincinnati, but boy, oh boy, he's been good when given the chance.
Ball and a strike. The Marlins have been in this ballpark when it's been unbelievably hot. Moore sends it out to right. Chu makes the catch. And when it's hot, you need Aquafina. And on Sunday, July 30th, the Reds are there. The Marlins are there. It's a 110 start. The Aquafina family 4-pack starts at $84. 4 tickets for Nathan, all beef hot dogs, 4 Pepsi soft drinks, or Aquafina waters. For tickets, marlins.com/Aquafina. That was an awful transition, wasn't it? Here's Dietrich, and he takes in.
Well, you set it up with how hot it was here in Texas, and I thought, when is it not hot in Texas?
Well, it's 89 degrees. This feels
fantastic.
Yeah.
But it's, the temperature. We were talking about the weather today. This is like the one place in the United States where you see 100 degrees in the forecast, but no rain.
Well, the Marlins were here in 2014, and it was hot. The time before then, a few years earlier, on-field temperatures were 118 degrees. The Marlins actually stayed in Fort Worth in that trip, and nobody ventured out of the hotel. Or if you did, you needed a shower when you came back in. It was hot. So count your blessings.
It's a dry heat.
For a nice night tonight. Here's a 1-2. Dietrich takes a breaking ball out. Derek, a 1 for 4 in yesterday's loss. He's got family here in Texas. He pulls that one foul. Swing and a miss. And Dietrich chases. 2 outs. And that brings up Miguel Rojas.
We talked about that low zone. I was right back to it with the slider. Able to pick up the strikeout on Dietrich.
Rojas has hopped right back up on the horse after coming off the DL. And has swung the bat well. RBI single yesterday. Had 3 hits in Cincinnati. Sends it to center. DeShields is back. And he's there and he makes the catch. Quick inning for Perez. 10 pitches. 2-0 Miami. And Conley misses inside with a fastball. Adam, his last start against the Phillies, some progress there. 6 innings and a couple of runs. He did get the loss. Conley misses inside. Oh, we apologize that brief audio incident. Normally that's caused by us up in the booth, but this one we're not sure yet.
They're always telling me to stop touching the buttons, but I didn't touch any buttons this time.
Our engineers right now working feverishly to diagnose that. Nice throw by Rojas on the bouncer in the hole. Jonathan Lucroy. There's 2 outs here in the second. That brings up Nomar Mazara. Mazara, a really young major leaguer. He made his major league debut when he was 20 out of the Dominican Republic. Had a nice year last year, popped 20 homers. Has a dozen homers right now, but is on an 0 for 21 bender.
2 for 31 here in the second half. That's an .065 batting average. So yes, he's struggling, and like many of these Texas Rangers, has incredible home and road splits. Listen to this. At home, 873 OPS, Rich. On the road, 611. So almost a different hitter. 200, almost 300 points better at home.
And Conley with a good breaking ball there. That's 1-2.
Conley's done a nice job featuring all his pitches, getting them out, using them.
Bouncer up the middle. Gordon sliding, got it on its way to first in time. Terrific play by D. Gordon, and a 1-2-3 second for Adam Conley. Michael Hill, president of baseball operations, when we return.
And the accounts and the descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Miami Marlins.
In Texas, D. Gordon in the box. Shows bunt and a one-hopper to Beltre, who whips it on over to first. Napoli there. And Gordon out number 1 here in the third. D. Gordon doubled in the first to open things up, and that set up Giancarlo Stanton's at bat.
My goodness, 93 miles an hour, inner third at the knees, turned around. Number 31 on the season for Stanton.
429 feet, 110 miles an hour off the bat. And Perez with a breaking ball misses.
I have to admit, Rich, over the last 2 weeks, it's like organizations are convinced that they can get him out on the inner third of the plate without setting it up, and it's baffling to me because he's hit about 5 of the hardest home runs he's hit all season, or have been kind of like his last 5, and they continue to challenge him in that same lane.
Perez, a couple breaking balls, off-speed pitch there. He works quickly. He actually works a little quicker than Adam Conley. I didn't think that was possible. And Stanton takes down low.
Perez really likes to keep the ball down in the zone. In fact, was the best at getting ground ball double plays. Got one earlier in this ball game already. Now 19, I believe, on the season. 36 of them last year. So he can get some ground balls.
Always fun to see Stanton take batting practice in a ballpark where he doesn't spend a lot of time. Because as we go around the National League, we know areas that he's hit balls during BP, and it's no big deal.
You know,
he walks.
You know what I enjoy doing is watching people watch him for the first time in their ballpark. That's what I'm actually starting to learn. Yeah, I mean, I've watched many of the shows he puts on now.
T-Mobile unlimited baseball break now. Injuries, pitching injuries yesterday. Clayton Kershaw, lower back tightness, 4 to 6 weeks is the estimate. Steven Strasburg, forearm stiffness. Haven't heard a word on Strasburg yet. We'll double check that. Bryce Harper extended his streak to 16. Zach Britton for the Orioles. There's a liner to center field and a sliding catch by DeShields. Stanton gets back. Yelich robbed. And a nice play by the son of the major leaguer, Delano DeShields Sr.
Well, he's got speed, good instincts in center field. You saw how quick he made that first break on the ball off the bat. That's what helps him get underneath it. Keeps the glove down on the ground. Could come up with that great swing from Christian Yelich.
Marcell Ozuna now. And Stanton still at first. Outfield plays to right center. This is one of the fastest playing surfaces in all of baseball, if not the fastest. Ozuna pops it into right. Shin-Soo Choo is there, and he makes the catch. Just 9 pitches for Perez. 2-0 Miami lead. Fox Sports Supports is proud to team up with Homes for Our Troops, building mortgage-free, specially adapted homes nationwide for severely injured post 9/11 veterans. Learn more about how Homes for Our Troops is rebuilding lives and visit foxsportsupports.com. We will have Michael Hill, president of baseball operations for the Marlins, on here tonight. He'll join us shortly. Delano DeShields Jr. climbs in the box. And Adam Conley goes to work with strike one. Rangers had a couple of 2-out singles in the first. Strikeout of Mike Napoli got Conley out of that, and he went 1-2-3 through the second.
Well, pretty good numbers for Delino DeShields. Hitless here in the second half. He's only had a couple of starts. He's their fourth outfielder. Gets the start tonight. Kind of their second leadoff hitter in the 9 spot. He will run if he can get on. He will drop a bunt for a base hit.
There's your matchup tomorrow. Cole Hamels. Marlins know all about Hamels. Dan Straley. Rangers might not know a whole lot about Straley, though he was in the American League with Oakland. That was a while ago. And Conley gets another strikeout. That slider has some bite tonight and some depth. And with 1 out, here comes Carlos Gomez. And if you can't watch the game on television, you can stream it live on all of your devices. Take Fox Sports Go wherever you go. You can download it now on the App Store. Fox Sports Go.
And that slider is going to continue to be a weapon for Conley tonight. Texas Rangers, one of the most aggressive teams in baseball coming into tonight. 898 strikeouts, 5th most in the big leagues.
Carlos Gomez goes up and gets a pitch and drives it into left for a hit. And that's single number 3 for Texas. Shin-Soo Choo now. Choo had a very short season last year because he was on the disabled list 4 different times. He had back issues, he had hamstring issues, he had a calf issue, and a fractured forearm. It's rare that a player who goes on the DL that many times has 4 separate injuries, but he did. Conley a snap throw. Gomez will run. He swiped 7 bags. And Texas, believe it or not, with all the home runs, is second in the American League in stolen bases.
That's what they do well. Steal bases and hit home runs. We've got to decide if they're a contender, if they're a buyer or seller. Very interesting time between now and the 31st for the Texas Rangers.
And Jeff Bannister in his short stay into the postseason both times, won the division title both times.
You mentioned their road trip. This is their first home game of the second half.
Bouncer first, and it's by Moore and into right. Stanton over to get it. Choo headed to second. Stanton's throw is as well, and he is out. Great pick and tag by Miguel Rojas. Stanton throws out Choo. Gomez survives at third. And there are 2 outs in the inning.
Well, top spin smash past Moore at first base. Giancarlo Stanton. Oh, that's textbook. Well done. That's what you want to see. Gets over into the corner, goes to the backspin right there. Watch that. Fields it, spins in 1 step, and able to throw a dart to Miguel Rojas, who does a fantastic job of coming up with that 1-hop throw over Choo. Choo tried to get into second base. That really changes the course of this inning. 1 out, and you're out of it.
Maybe. Rangers are going to challenge. The 2 looks that we have seen are not definitive, and we will find the best look that we have and the best look that the Texas telecast has as well. Remember, both video rooms and Major League Baseball have access to the cameras in both television production trucks. Jerry Davis, the crew chief, with the headset on. Here is a super slow-mo look. Is that definitive? It looks like his foot is ahead of the tag.
Well, Stan did everything in his power. Tremendous reverse pivot and throw. Well done.
This is an enormous review right now.
It really is.
It could be second and third and 1 out, or it can be 2 outs and Gomez at third base And you've got Andrus coming up. It's close. Now, with time code, the umpires back in New York can piece together the video in terms of when the glove appears to tag him and when the foot appears to get to the base. Regardless, really nice play by Rojas on a backhand pick and a swipe tag. Everybody is staring up at that scoreboard, which sits on top of the roof on that right field grandstand area. And this one is taking a while, which tells me they're trying to piece together different views. I think the longer it goes, the better it is for the Marlins, but still.
This would be the third outfield assist for Stanton on this road trip.
I mean, if you ask me, I think he was safe. I don't know if there's definitive evidence of that, though. Jerry Davis out. And that has to be a call stands. And it is a call stands. And so our instincts were correct. Not enough evidence to overturn. You have to be 100% conclusive.
Well, it's exactly why the initial call means so much every one of these times. And when you see the play happen in fast speed as it was happening, you felt the momentum, you thought the tag was down, and he was out. There was not enough evidence to overturn it. It becomes a timing issue. Tag, foot, tag, foot. Marlins are thrilled he's out.
In the air left field, Ozuna's got room, and Adam Conley takes advantage of that replay review. Jeff Bannister not real happy right now. 2-0 Miami. Michael Hill when we return. Operations Michael Hill. First of all, welcome to the booth. Secondly, how confident were you on that replay review at second base?
Well, I think history tells us when it takes that long that they don't have a clear look. So it's inconclusive, and I think that's why the play stood.
Well, Michael, how do you like the play on the field? This team's been playing pretty well on the road here lately, 8-3 over the last 11 ball games. Very well on this road trip.
No, I mean, it all starts for us with starting pitching, and it sets the tone for us. And when we can get quality starting pitching, we know what our offense is capable of doing. It's great to see Big G get another one over the fence and get our offense going today.
JT Realmuto leading it off. Realmuto a line drive single after a great series in Michael Hill's hometown of Cincinnati. And he stands in there now at 307, 10 homers, slugging percentage in the upper 400s. (0-2), and it's fouled back. All right, so it's trading deadline. Unique circumstances. You've never been through anything like this, with your team up for sale and your ball club in a position where normally a general manager is looking to unload some spare parts and get back some young talent for years to come. Real Muto left field, and under it is Mazzara to make the catch. So let's start there. How does the imminent sale of your team affect you as a general manager as you're in these last 2 weeks of July?
You know, for us, nothing's really changed. You know, our focus is on trying to make this club better. And I think you look at the trades we've made thus far in sending Indini Echeverria to Tampa. We felt like we could get some value for Etch with JT Riddle playing so well. So we were able to do that, add two pieces that we really liked into our system. And I think subsequently with the trade of David Phelps, a 4-for-1 deal where we were able to add pieces that we really liked. Ichiro coming in for Bohr. Looks like Ichiro's pinch hitting for Bohr. So I'll get you more information on that one. Got a little buzz on my phone, so I'll look into that one, and we'll let you guys know what's going on with JB.
Now, my guess would be the ball he fouled off his foot in Cincinnati yesterday. He didn't run down the line that well in that double play. So
yeah, I saw that, and we'll get the information and let you guys know what's up with JB.
Here's Bohr out of the box, and he runs better than that.
Yeah, he's not moving great there.
You know, he had a 400-foot single yesterday in Cincinnati. You could tell as he was coming around first base that he was definitely in some pain. Well, talk to us about this team, again, on this road trip, the circumstances that you've talked about. Whether the team's being sold or not, there's kind of a lot going on maybe around the minds of these young players that are on this team. Are you happy with how they've handled a lot of the extracurricular stuff?
Well, you know how hard it is to play this game,
right,
Holly, and all we've really told these guys through from the beginning of spring training, just control what you can control. Focus on your job and doing your job every day. We know how difficult this game is, and where we are now, I think we've seen the best parts of this club, and we've seen ourselves struggle. You know, we know this is a very talented offensive group, and we've seen that on display on numerous occasions. We've seen the shortcomings with our starting pitching. We've seen our bullpen be up and down, and I think that's really why we are where we are right now. It's been inconsistent, you know, overall for our team, and I think that's really been our largest struggle. We haven't been able to put that consistent run together, and you know, we had an awful May where we were 8 games under in May, and it's been pretty much 500 baseball since then. But you have to dig yourself out of that hole, and we haven't been able to do that.
Here's Tyler Moore. Ichiro's at first base. You got Derek Dietrich on deck. Moore, a fly ball out to right his first time up. And a swing and a miss. Now, look, in reading, fans, broadcasters, I'm sure presidents and general managers spend a lot of time online reading websites that have Major League rumors, baseball websites that talk about who's available, all of this. Everything that I've read, including quotes from yourself, is that the young core of Marlins players are not being actively shopped. Is that accurate?
That is fair and accurate. You know, what we've looked to do this trade deadline is move pieces or talk about pieces that we think have value at this time of year, and haven't really got into some of our more controllable pieces, and tried to focus on you know, stay away from those guys and just focus on the pieces that we think you know, carry the most value this time of year.
Let me jump back in on the offense. I remember talking, Michael, to you early on in the season in April, and what you were hoping to see from this offense. You knew that they were talented. You knew that this was a good group of combination of athleticism, some speed, obviously some power. You know, Justin Bohr, JT Realmuto, maybe even a Giancarlo Stanton. Are you pretty happy with the growth that you've seen this season, maybe the coming together of a unit?
Definitely. When you think about the growth in their game planning, as Tyler rolls over a 6-4-3.
Yeah, well, look, that was a good call. If you got another half inning in you, we'd love to have you hang around.
Always for you guys.
Appreciate it.
See, even Don Manley keeps score. 2-0 Miami. Nothing. Marlins on top. Bottom 4 here in Texas. South Florida Honda dealers, get you ready for tomorrow night, 7:30 start. It's Preston Wilson and Craig Minervini, and it's emails and tweets, kids, on email and Twitter Tuesday. Michael Hill is with us, president of baseball operations for the Miami Marlins. Adam Conley to Adrian Beltre. And that one goes to the screen. Now, when we were interrupted by that 6-4-3 double play, Ollie, you were talking offense.
Right. Well, we were talking offense, and this offense has shown some real growth, at least in my opinion. Michael, I wanted to get yours and what you've seen from some of your younger stars, from a JT Realmuto to a Justin Bour hitting lefties to Stanton hitting homers. What are your thoughts on how this team has, I'll use the word, gelled?
I think that's why we were so confident coming into the season, because our best players are everyday players. You look around the field, and it's littered with all-stars. You think about Giancarlo, you think about Yeli, Ozuna, D, Realmuto behind the plate. And we really felt comfortable that as a group, they were ready to take off and really do special things offensively. And I think that's what we've seen thus far, that they are a very talented offensive group. And as I said, the biggest challenge for us has been finding that consistent pitching, and I think that's how you're able to string together runs. And for all the great stories with our pitching, you know, the emergence of Jose Urena, you know, the stability and the competitiveness of Dan Straley, you know, we've had some pitchers underperform, and I think that's why you see the struggles that we've had to this point.
Adrian Beltre is set on getting to 3,000 while we're here.
Right, well, he's going to get those 11. You asked for it. He's trying.
Asked for it. He's got 2, so he is 9 shy of 3,000 in his career. Mike Napoli stands in. Trading deadline is coming up for you. What are the expectations, not only for your ball club, but industry-wide? How do you see the trading deadline, I guess, evolving as we get towards August 1st?
We're always just looking for ways to get better. You know, we make sure the phone's charged. We've got our entire group of people back in Florida. They're in the cave right now. We've got our depth charts and everything lined up. And we're just looking for ways to give this organization more depth, give us more assets, add to this collection of talent that we have, and give us a chance to win as many games as possible.
All right, I always wonder about this as Napoli's at the plate and the count is 2-1. When you read stories online and you hear reports that Ball Club A is talking about player Z with ball club be, right? And you see it. It's like,
Yeah.
I see that with Giancarlo Stanton. Well, the Marlins are talking with this team about Stanton. The Marlins, now, is that you picking up the phone and calling them? Is that just somebody checking in saying, hey, would you trade Stanton for this? And you said, probably not. Well, technically, you have talked about Stanton. How does that happen in real life?
That is definitely the semantics of it all, and this time of year the rumors are flying at a rapid pace, and I think that's just what we get used to this time of year. We're on the phone so much, and we're talking to our peers and visiting about whatever it may be, and if I talk to you, then all of a sudden it's a rumor and we're talking about a deal, and that's not necessarily the case. If you have good players, you're going to get calls and people are going to ask about them. That doesn't mean that they're in play or that you're talking about actively trading them. And we do have a number of good players, so you're going to get phone calls on them. And at this time of year, it just takes on a life of itself. And I enjoy reading the rumors because I find out, wow, I didn't even know I talked to him 2 days ago. I haven't talked to him yet.
Tyler Moore with a catch and a tag. Umpire goes down. And did he get the out?
Yeah, he's out.
Is that a double play?
It is.
The umpire made no signal, but I think he helps Beltre up while calling him out. And that is a slick double play by Tyler Moore. Beltre is still standing out there in disbelief. Rangers are out of challenges.
Yeah.
You're not going to loan him one either.
No, not today.
All right.
That deal was on yesterday.
All right. Well, look, I appreciate you coming in. I appreciate
my pleasure.
Thanks, Michael.
No, always a pleasure, guys.
I appreciate the insights, and hopefully we'll have you back here in a week or two to recap what should be a busy week.
All right, looking forward to it.
All right,
Thanks
Michael
again.
Hill, President of Baseball Operations. Tyler Hill, President of Double Plays. It's 2-0, Miami. Still not sure how it happened, but here's a look. Let's see if he caught it or if it was on the ground. It bounced. And that is our Bonefish Grill bang bang catch of the game for great fish, great cocktails, and great times. Head to Bonefish Grill.
Is first base umpire getting assist?
Yes, Rob Drake went
Nice job,
down,
Rob.
and he went down hard.
He pins Adrian Beltre to the ground.
And you know what Beltre's thinking here? Not that it was caught. He's thinking, if I run to second, I'm out.
Right.
Maybe I can sneak back in to first base.
That's exactly right. Hard hit.
Derek Dietrich at the plate. Takes a strike. Had to put it back, had to put the ball back into his glove. Because he was thinking he's going to have to get up and throw the ball to second base.
Well, Beltre came back. He made it easy. No reason to do it the hard way.
Dietrich swings and misses. Dietrich a strikeout in his only at bat of the night. We got Miguel Rojas and then D. Gordon. We are awaiting word on Justin Bohr. Dietrich rolls it to first. Napoli is there and gets the first out of the 5th inning. Here is Rojas, and a reminder, today is a flash offer Monday. For your flash offer, $7 off your ticket to see the Marlins and the Reds on the 27th through July 30th. So all 4 games of that series. Special edition Pudge Rodriguez bobblehead as well when you do the flash offer. Supply is limited. Act now. Marlins.com/flash offer. Rojas lined to center back in the second. It's 2-0 and a Giancarlo Stanton homer. Of course it was in the first inning. The only 2 runs. A little pop-up. And Rougned Odor with a casual catch. And with 2 outs, that'll bring up D. Gordon.
Perez is most definitely settled in after that rough first inning. Got that double play off the bat of Justin Bour. Since then, hasn't given up a hit. A couple of walks. A couple of hard hit balls, but that is it against Perez.
Breaking ball for a strike to Gordon. Gordon's double was an odd one. It was a squibbing ground ball that got under the glove of Adrian Beltre. But Beltre got enough on it that he slowed it down. It rolled into shallow left, and Gordon streaked into second with double number 15 on the season. And with a count 0-2, Gordon just gets a piece. And down he goes. So a quick inning for Martin Perez. 1, 2, 3. Miami's up halfway through, 2-0.
Earlier, you heard Mike Hill talking about starting pitching. The Marlins announcing today that Tom Kohler has been optioned for the second time this season to New Orleans. Hunter Cervenka recalled to take his spot on the roster, and Don Mattingly said these moves are never easy.
It's been a tough year for Tom, and yeah, that was not an easy one yesterday. I think he's frustrated by it. I would say that. I think. And he said it pretty well from the standpoint he doesn't really think that going down is going to help him get any better, and that's where that part where he feels like he can throw his breaking ball in bad spots sometimes down there and get away with it, and so he feels like pitching to AAA is not going to help him get better.
And guys, with the addition of Hunter Cervenka, the Marlins now have 2 lefties in their bullpen.
Wow, that's A luxury, it seems like. 2 lefties with Cervenka here and Harlan Garcia. Thank you, Jessica. 2-0 Miami on top. Bottom 5. Adam Conley against Jonathan Lucroy. Lucroy was an offensive machine when he was a Milwaukee Brewer. That rare guy, and the Marlins have that with JT Realmuto, of a good catcher behind the plate and a dynamic offensive player. Not having the best of years this year. Then he pops that pitch up. In comes Moore. And Tyler Moore makes the catch, and Conley is settled in. He gave up 2 hits in the first, got out of it. Gave up 2 hits in the third, got out of it. And that great play by Moore on the ball off the bat of Rougned Odor got Conley out of the bottom of the 4th.
A couple of double plays have really been big for the Marlins, keeping this at a 2-0 score.
Yeah, the amazing thing too, and it's refreshing to see, if you look at the box on the right, it's bottom 5. Look at the pitch count. 53 pitches. In the air, center field. Back goes Yelich. A little premature berm action out there. A few kids ran out on the berm anticipating Mazzara hitting that one out of the park. Geico presents an MLB Moments. Honest, they do. Well, every now and then you miss the cutoff man.
Not tonight.
But when you get a bad hop, you knock it down and you try to make a play.
He's trying to step on first and tag the base runner. That's what you got to do.
Delano DeShields takes a strike.
Getting back to what Conley has done so well tonight in mixing his pitches. This Texas Ranger team loves to swing the bat early in the count. You've seen it all game long. And it's one of those things where guy leading off might see 2 pitches and put the ball in play. Next guy coming up, you're thinking, okay, well, he's got to take a strike. These Texas Rangers, they don't. They're ready to hit. They'll jump right in there and swing at the first pitch again. So Conley's really had to be on his game with pitches number 1 and number 2, making sure that they're on the corners, that they're down in the zone. He's been able to get ahead of hitters and get some quick outs that way. And it has been a long time since we've seen 4 2/3 at 56 pitches from just about anybody.
Juan Davis likes what he sees. 0-2 on DeShields. To left, Ozuna back at the wall, and it's off the wall. Marcel picks it up, racing around second is DeShields, and he is in there with a triple. That was so high that while the ball was crashing into the left field wall, DeShields was crashing into second base.
And that speed on display here with 2 outs. DeShields does not have to run cautiously. We're looking to be as aggressive as he can. Marcell Ozuna, a little left, a little right, gets himself back to the wall. I want to say it hits about 7 or 8 feet up. It's not the easiest wall to play. It's that chain link fence where the ball can come off at a lot of different angles. So Ozuna kind of gives back so he can give himself an opportunity to at least field it off the wall. Easy triple for DeShields in his speed.
First pitch swinging again, and Gomez fouls it back and out of play. Here's your ball strike ratio, and it's really good for Conley tonight.
Well, I think the last game the Texas Rangers played yesterday in Tampa really sums them up. They got a short start from Tyson Ross. They got 4 home runs, 2 from Odor, 1 from Gallo, 1 from Gomez. 0 for 7 with runners in scoring position.
And they did it in dramatic fashion. And Gomez, in that 8th inning, in 3 pitches, they erased the lead and took the lead. Odor and Gomez went back to back in just 3 pitches in the 8th for a 6-5 win. And the Rangers swept the Rays, and that was coming off losing 4 in Baltimore, where everybody around the club said, well, that's it. Season's over. Who are they going to trade? Now they've won 3 straight, and all of a sudden it's like, well, not so fast.
Well, it's the clarity that you're looking for from your team when you're trying to define a team right at 500, and that's what's been frustrating for Rangers fans this season. Who are the Rangers? Hit for great power, score bunches of runs, pretty good pitchers, but 48 and 50.
Oh, great pitch by Conley. On the 3-1 fastball, Gomez missed, and then Conley snaps off a good breaking ball and strikes out Gomez. The big bat's coming up for Miami. On to the 6th we go. Giancarlo, Christian Yelich, and Marcell Ozuna. All right, thank you, Craig. Giancarlo Stanton in the box. And a fastball misses up. Count 1 ball, 1 strike. Stanton, Yelich, Ozuna in the 6th. Giancarlo 2-run homer to left. Walked in the 3rd. Third pass through against Perez. And a roller to short. Big hop up for Elvis Andrus. And a throw to first is in time to get Stanton. Now, hearing what we heard from Craig talking about the Kershaw injury, ears have perked up certainly around this ball club, because one potential target to add starting pitching for the Dodgers is scheduled to pitch here on Wednesday, and that's Yu Darvish. How does the Kershaw injury, in your mind, change that?
Well, it most definitely puts the Los Angeles Dodgers in a position of acquisition, talent-wise, as far as their starting rotation. They were considering this before the Kershaw injury, so I think it puts them out there in a way that, I guess I'll say it this way. If it was 50%, it's even higher now that they're going to go out and try to do something significant, because, listen, this is a team that wants to win. They've gotten off to a great start. Los Angeles Dodgers aren't about having a great season and losing in the playoffs. That's not the mentality. That's not who they are. That's not their MO. It's not how they're winning the World Series in their minds, and they're going to do everything in their power to put a championship team on the field in 2017. And they also see what's going on around the league. So with or without Kershaw, you're thinking about Darvish. With Kershaw being down for 4 to 6, you're really thinking about Darvish.
Our Ken Rosenthal wrote a really interesting piece about the Dodgers and Darvish, and the Rangers in particular, and Darvish. Here's the 1-2. Yelich takes down low, and the point was the Rangers want to sign Darvish and extend him and have him here. But if they trade him, the likelihood of him coming back here and signing as a free agent diminished a bit. Busted bat. Yelich dumps it shallow center off the glove of Odor. And Christian Yelich has got a bloop base hit with 1 out here in the 6th.
Well, that's a little payback for the L8 he picked up his last time up, so he'll take it.
So I guess that's the question for the Rangers. If long term they want to keep Darvish in the rotation and sign him, do you think they're better off waiting and rather than trading him and hoping he comes back, just keeping him?
I can answer this question, you know, vanilla. I mean, I can't pick a side because, again, I don't know the Texas Rangers. I don't know the relationship with Yu Darvish, but I do know this, and this is how typically players think. Even if he wants to be here, if he's made up in his mind that he wants to explore free agency, that's going to happen anyway. So whether it's the Texas Rangers competing with everybody else in baseball for him as a free agent, and that's a very real possibility.
Ozuna cranks one left center, and it's in the gap, and it goes to the wall. Yelich racing for third. Freddie will send him. Here comes Yelich. Here comes a throw, and he's in there. Marcell Ozuna knocks home Yelich, and it's 3-0.
I'll tell you about that third at bat. Marcell Ozuna seems to lock in and come up with big hits time and time again in that third at bat. Once again, first pitch swinging. He's done it all night long. Why not again? Out over the plate, lines it. We'll call it center left. This is more towards the center field wall than it is to left field, but the angle DeShields takes cost him a couple steps. He tried to cut across and get to the baseball. Unfortunately, he could. Well, for him, he couldn't get to the wall. It allows Christian Yelich to come all the way around and score.
And so 3-0 now, and Ozuna in scoring position. And here is Real Muto, who is 1 for 2. Martin Perez, 76 pitches into this one. He has struck out 2. He has walked 2.
I'll quickly finish that thought on Darvish. I think the Texas Rangers really should explore moving him and bringing him back. If that relationship is as strong as they believe it is now, why wouldn't you do it?
Real Muto center field. DeShields has room. Ozuna tags. And Ozuna is headed to third. DeShields' throw is offline. Marcell moves up 90 feet. Good aggressive base running. And that'll bring up Ichiro. Beer Fest is coming back to the Clevelander and Marlins Park on Saturday, July 29th. Marlins and Reds sample more than 20 different types of domestic and international brews. Tickets start at just $35. Purchase your Beer Fest tickets now at marlins.com/beerfest. We'll see you at the game. Ichiro came into the ball game and hit for Justin Bour in the 4th. This is the DH spot. And he takes ball 1. Now look, lot of games here as a Mariner. 285 average, 117 games worth. 7 home runs here.
Were you thinking more or less?
I'm surprised that the average is 285.
Should be higher.
I am surprised that the home runs are that high.
Oh, I see. Well, yeah, I mean, it's great hitter's ballpark. Yeah, Ichiro's rolled through here many a times.
Maybe he's been spinning off his back foot while he's been here trying to knock it into the seats.
Well, you know what a lot of lefties do? They get intrigued with that upper deck out in right field because it's so reachable for just about everybody. I admittedly fell victim to that a few times. You see that porch in right field, much like old Tigers Stadium.
Right.
It's exactly how it was done. That upper deck reaches out, you know, almost to the edge of where the outfield wall is over the field. So you can pop a ball into that upper deck with just you know, a good swing of the bat to right field and some back leg.
Good take by Ichiro, and it's 2-2. Yeah, Roy Hobbs like.
Yes.
Ozuna at third. And Ichiro strikes out. So Miami has to settle for a run on the Ozuna double. Bottom 6, 3-0 Miami. Marlins Baseball on Fox Sports Florida is brought to you by Jeep, by Hankook Tires. Chase down your passion, never halfway. And by your South Florida Chevy dealers. 3-0. All seems calm outside Globe Life Park in Arlington, which I like just the plain old ballpark in Arlington.
Got to pay the bills.
Adam Conley, 63 pitches. And here's the arsenal.
Four-seam fastball. Those sliders have been more than effective, but particularly the fastball to the spots early in counts. But that sliders helped him pick up a few strikeouts along the way.
This is a big inning for Conley. This is the third time through against the big bats of the Rangers. Chu, Andrus, Beltre, and if anybody reaches, Napoli, Odor. That's a strike. Jerry Davis, by the way, is calling balls and strikes. We saw Rob Drake falling over Adrian Beltre. Pat Hoberg's at second. Tom Woodring, the third base umpire. Conley gets in on Chu's hands. Chu has had a nice long career in the big leagues. He came over to the United States at 22 and signed originally with Seattle. 7 significant years with Cleveland, and this is his 4th season with the Rangers.
It's pretty interesting. In my mind, I give Chu an awful lot of credit for being the original OPS, one of the original OPS guys. Batting average, just slide it to the side. Look at my on-base percentage. I'm a 390 guy. I'm a 400 guy. I walk a lot. I hit for power, and I lead off. That's what helped him land a really nice deal here with the Texas Rangers. Now, clearly today in the game, it's a lot more commonplace to see players like that.
Ozuna has room, and he makes the catch. So the first out of the 6th. Here comes Andrus. Cole Hamels. Haven't seen him in a while. Marcell Ozuna against Hamels. 3 home runs in his career. Marlins saw an awful lot of Hamels, obviously, as a Philadelphia Philly. And he is the ace, many feel, of this Texas Rangers staff. 4-1, a 3.78 ERA.
Well, and I think the interesting part to your Yu Darvish question that you asked me about last inning is what this Rangers team looks like in this wild card conversation minus Yu Darvish. So, I mean, that's the X factor to all of this. I mean, if you look at it on the surface, you say, okay, well, listen, if we're strong enough, we can bring Yu Darvish back next year. Why wouldn't we trade him and obviously net us the prospects that will help our organization be better long term? You're in the wild card hunt. At 48 and 50, they're right in the middle of it, and they've got to decide. And as we talked about, the Baltimore game series, lost all 4 games and got swept. And they bounce back against Tampa Bay and they win 3. You come home and you're like, all right, we just went 5-5 on our 10-game road trip, and you see where they are in the standings.
Yeah, they're 2.5 games back. Now there's a lot of traffic on the interstate.
Yeah,
but they're not that far back.
Well,
swing and a miss. Strikeout of Andrus.
One thing that stands out for me, and I talk about this an awful lot, only because it matters how you play against your division. 17 and 20 against the American League West. Now, they're going to play nearly that many games. They're going to probably have at least 30 or 40 games. I don't have the exact number in front of me, but you always do. You play your division the most. That they're 3 games under against their division. They're going to have to improve upon that if they're actually going to push back and push hard and get into the wild card conversation comfortably.
All right, start of the night, we pointed out that Adrian Beltre was 11 away from 3,000. That he was too bad that it was just a 3-game series because we weren't going to get to see 3,000. If he keeps this pace up, he's 2 for 2.
Well, a little birdie whispered in my ear he can get all the 2-out hits he wants.
He went fouled at the plate. That was Michael Hill. Come on. There he is. So he's at 2.991. I mean, he's had just a really well-rounded career. 5 Gold Gloves, 4-time All-Star. That is a foul ball. Dietrich diving for it, and that was close. That was right on the line. Counts 1-2. This is coming into tonight, so the hit totals haven't been updated, but the home runs are accurate, the RBIs are accurate, and of course you see the active rank. His 20th major league season. Up the middle, Rojas can't get it. He is 3 for 3.
Well, one thing we know, he's not getting 11 hits tonight.
Oh no. Oh no. Miguel Rojas is in incredible pain. You could see his face. Dove after that ball. That left thumb, of course, was broken. He came off the disabled list a few days ago. Ugh. The Marlins have just had awful luck at that position, that left side of the infield. Prado's been on the DL 3 different times. Didn't look like he rolled up on it, but the impact, I'm sure, was jarring. Dustin Lupker, Marlins trainer,
he hit hard.
Is out there.
He sure did. Watch the dirt come flying up. He's going to hit the turf hard. Kind of that left arm really sticks. It kind of catches. He doesn't really slide across the dirt, which is exactly what he's trying to do. It kind of sticks. I'll keep my fingers crossed right here. He didn't look good, but he's going to stay in the ball game. Yeah, I don't think it's his hand. I think it's his shoulder. That's my guess. I think it's his right shoulder.
This is full speed. I think you know, watching him swing his arm like that, that could be an indication of shoulder, and he's still in pain, trying to hang in there. I think the real test is going to be when he picks up a bat. He's going to try to gut out the rest of this half inning. Beltre is 3 for 3.
Well, good news for now that Miguel Rojas does not have to leave the game. He's been playing at a very high level since coming off the disabled list. So valuable to the middle infield right now.
Now, JT Riddle has had some tendonitis in his shoulder. He's close to coming back. He may be a half inning away from coming back.
Well, that's what they may have to go in there and shake the rest of the tendonitis out real quick.
Now it was Dustin Lupker who went from Rojas quickly to Riddle. Napoli pops that one foul and out of play.
Keep an eye on the outfielders right now. A little bit of a tough sky. This ball gets way up high.
By the way, Rojas is due up 3rd in the 7th inning. Napoli pops it up with the shift. This is a tough play. Moore's after it. Gordon is there, and he makes the catch. D had to come from all the way behind second base. How about Adam Conley here tonight? Deep in the heart, 3-0 Miami.
illegal. Billy Martin is out of the dugout. They're looking George Brett's bat over. And they're called George Brett out, and here comes an argument. Here comes an argument. George Brett at the plate. Oh, and he is furious. He's trying to get to an umpire. George Brett may have already been suspended.
Pine Tar game in 1983.
Out of the dugout. The Royals have lost the home run in the ball
Now,
game.
Brett would eventually get the home run, and Billy Martin in protest when they resumed that game, I believe put Don Mattingly at second base out of protest, just to, you know, tweak the baseball god, so to speak. Tyler Moore pops this one into right center field, and DeShields runs it down and makes the catch on the warning track. That ball really carried. This is Miguel Rojas coming off when the inning ended. Put his hat down, put his glove down, and took his jersey right off and exited. So Rojas, I'm not sure why the jersey was off. Maybe to get taped, maybe to get a little quick treatment, but he's on deck.
A quick treatment, maybe to very common here in Texas. You go through your clothes. I did this all the time as a Texas Ranger. You change your t-shirt about halfway through the game because you've soaked through everything and it gets cold. And if your arm is hurting just a little bit or you've got some muscle aches, you put on a dry t-shirt.
Well, it's a great sign that he's on deck. Dietrich is 0 for 2. He struck out and bounced out. And rolls a ground ball out to Odor. On to first in time. Both starters in this great hitters environment are still in right now. Martin Perez and Adam Conley. Toyota brings you an inside look. The all-new RAV4 interleague play this year. How good are the Rangers? They're 10-2 good. Astros are undefeated. Diamondbacks are 9-1. Marlins are 7-10. Well, here's Rojas.
I love interleague stats. I really do. I'm not even going to get going. Gonna leave it alone for now.
Rojas is lined out and popped out. I did not watch him on deck to see if he really cut loose with a swing. Obviously, that's the true test. Ball and a strike.
He doesn't look concerned with it. He's not. Certainly doesn't appear to be favoring it.
All right, for Justin Bour, it's not the foot. We've just been informed it's a strain of the right oblique. And he is listed as day-to-day. Bour came out of the ball game after bouncing into a double play. 1-2 is in. 2 balls, 2 strikes, still shaking that left arm. There's your in-game box score. Stanton a 2-run homer. Ozuna an RBI double. Those are the key hits. Ball in the dirt.
Jeffers up in the Rangers bullpen. Was at 92 pitches. We're in the 7th.
That's a base hit. Shoulder or whatever it is that's bothering.
Just fine.
Rojas feels a lot better now. 2 out single to right. Here comes Gordon.
2 really good swings of the bat tonight. His first time up. Deep line out to center field. And this is a 2-strike hit the other way. Which did a couple days ago on this road trip. How Rojas, how good he is with 2 strikes. You're 300 on the season when behind in the count. Just great work all season long.
Doug Brocale is the pitching coach. Long major league career for Brocale. Guy that threw that knuckle curve an awful lot in his time in a variety of organizations, including the Padres and the Tigers. He's also Houston's pitching coach before arriving here in Arlington, or the Metroplex. How's that?
It's confusing to me. Metroplex?
I think so. We'll have to get the locals to.
Yeah, I've heard that a couple times. It's thrown me.
Because we're staying in Dallas.
Yeah, you're right. I don't know what Metroplex means. I'll have to ask the locals.
Little tapper. You played here.
I've never heard that before.
Throw to second in time. And D. Gordon taps into a fielder's choice. Adam Conley back on the mound. Bottom 7. It's 3-0 Miami. He's had a little bit of trouble, but has been able to get out of it, and his command has been great. No walks, 4 strikeouts. It seems like all the strikeouts have been big ones. In fact, 3 of the strikeouts, 2 of the strikeouts have ended innings, and all 4 have been important along the way.
Well, the way that he's gone about his business is he's stayed with the fastball until he's been thrown into a position, or, well, literally forced into a position where he's had to use his slider a little bit more, and then when he's needed it, it's been outstanding. He hasn't wasted it. He's only thrown it about 20 times tonight, so that fastball is really leading the way, but when he's needed it, he's had it. That slider's been huge.
Rougned Odor, Jonathan Lucroy, Nomar Mazara for the Rangers. This would be 6, 7, 8 in the Texas order. Conley misses, and it's 1-0. Odor has, as you pointed out, some odd numbers. He's hitting just .214, but 19 homers, and he's slugging over .400.
That's what a lot of these Rangers do. High slugging percentages, in most cases pretty decent on-base percentages. They do take their walks occasionally, but they do strike out an awful lot. Last year, 33 home runs at a .798 OPS. This year, 19 home runs, and he's at .655. You say, well, what's the difference? Well, more strikeouts, doesn't walk a whole lot. In fact, coming into tonight's ballgame, Rich, only 74 walks in his career, 4-year career, over 1,800 at-bats.
He does not get cheated, as they say. The guy with the most extreme splits, and there's a look at Kyle Bearclaw, is Joey Gallo, the big, powerful kid out of Las Vegas. Although I guess you should qualify that, because it seems like there's 3 or 4 big, powerful kids out of Las Vegas, including Chris Bryant and Bryce Harper.
They just don't have the drastic splits that he does. He's got 52 hits on this season. 23 of them are homers. It's like 44, over 44%.
Odor fouls it at the plate. The count is 1-2. So Conley's pitch count sits at 87. You saw Bearclaw up. Boy, Don Mattingly would just do a handstand, you would imagine, if Conley can get through 7 and deliver the ball to Bearclaw in the 8th. Busted bat, and Moore avoids the bat and gets the ball.
Barrel went farther than the ball.
Now tonight I walked by a big meeting, and it was all about how to honor Pudge and the travel plans for all the Ranger folks going up to Cooperstown. And if you're a Marlin fan and you remember Pudge in 2003, you want to head to Cooperstown, you can head there as well. Go to marlins.com/HOF. Marlins.com/HOF. He's going in as a Ranger. Certainly great memories of that World Championship season in 2003. Yeah, a big party, as you would expect, a traveling party going up from the ball club here up to Cooperstown.
Well, his career, his identity was all established in a Texas Rangers uniform. Had the privilege of playing with Pudge here and in Florida.
It was a package deal, you two, on the first in time. Jonathan Lucroy is out, and Conley now has 2 outs here in the 7th. And he goes after Nomar Mazara.
Did that a few times in my career, actually, Rich. From Texas with Pudge to Florida, Miami. And from Miami to the Cubs with D. Lee.
You kept good company.
I did. Just like I do now. There a deep fly ball his last time up, stuck in the middle of an 0 for 23.
Conley misses in, count 2-0. DeShields, the number 9 hitter, is on deck. And all of a sudden Adam runs a count to 3-0. Texas, as we've noted, have won 3 straight. They swept the Rays. Every game in that series was a 1-run Texas win. Conley gets a strike. And the Rangers bullpen was used extensively yesterday, 5 1/3 to get that ball game. The Marlins, of course, yesterday lost their only game in Cincinnati, 6-3. Chopper towards first, Moore, and it's just foul. The count is full. So yesterday, Nick Wickren, Brian Ellington, Dustin McGowan worked in relief of Tom Kohler. You expect that Bearclaw and Junichi Tazawa are in play now with A.J. Ramos for the 9th, if the Marlins are fortunate to get there to that 9th with a lead.
Marlins bullpen outstanding on this trip. 9 2/3, 5 hits allowed, 4 strikeouts. So very, very good work by the bullpen.
Got him outside corner. Adam Conley strikes out Nomar Mazara. And Adam Conley walks off the mound. 7 shutout innings. All right, thank you, Craig. We look forward to that breakdown by Preston. Marlins Live comes to you right after the final out here in Arlington. 97 pitches, 7 hits, nary a walk, and he came back from a 3-0 count. Here's the last pitch of that at bat. At first glance, it looked out, but watch this on Fox Tracks.
Dialing up the corners all night long. You're going to get a pitch like this on the corner, on the borderline of the corner, if you will. And you're going to get that call from a home plate umpire who knows you've been in the strike zone all night long.
Giancarlo Stanton will lead it off for Miami in the 8th. Jeremy Jeffers in from the Texas bullpen. He takes over for Martin Perez, who was in there for the first 7 innings. Stanton a 2-run homer and a walk. In-game jackpot brought to you by the Florida Lottery during July. Now 10 homers, and that's a Marlins team record. And the home run swing, and I noted it when you saw that first replay, just almost a unique swing from Stanton. A short little compact flick, 429 feet. He didn't really, top hand didn't leave the bat.
It wasn't about extension. It was more about rotation through the swing, and that's the big difference. It was a 93-mile-an-hour fastball, and you've seen him as he's gotten to that inside corner so well, not necessarily working to getting his arms so far extended across the plate. The extension is actually around the hips, through the hands, and then through the baseball.
Stanton drives it right field. Back goes Chu, looking up, and it's gone. Opposite field, second of the night, 32nd on the season. And Giancarlo makes it 4-0.
Now tied for the major league lead, Aaron Judge, number 32. How many times are they going to continue to challenge Giancarlo Stanton on the inner third of the plate? And watch this. Where Jonathan Lucroy sets up. It misses just a little bit out. But again, this is not about extension. It's about rotation. See? You're seeing excuse me power at its best right now, and he's got it. That ball was absolutely crushed. He's got power to all fields.
Watch who gets the ball when this thing ends up in the seats. See the little Stanton jersey guy? Oh, he had a shot. Yelich sprays one to the left side. Andrus on to first. So an out here in the 8th, and here comes Marcell Ozuna. I don't suppose the Rangers fans are going to hand it to the kid with the Stanton jersey. It's all right, still a thrill. His favorite players hit 2 home runs tonight. That is, and I was speaking with Eric Nadel, the Hall of Fame broadcaster here for the Texas Rangers, and we both agreed that's one of the really cool things about interleague play is getting a chance to see players you don't get to see but every 3 years. And for the Ranger fans and for Nadel and everybody else, they want to see Stanton. And they want to see Ozuna.
Well, they're certainly pitching to him like they haven't seen him all season long.
Ouch.
What do you want? I mean, hey, man, he's gone deep twice tonight again.
You were right on point, though. Right on point.
Hello, that is Giancarlo Stanton. Yes, nice to meet you. 32 home runs.
And the other thing we find wherever the Marlins go is the home telecast will always shoot Giancarlo's batting practice because they want to see a ball go somewhere.
Yes, they do. Right.
Where they've never seen a ball go in their home ballpark. Strike 3 call. Ozuna rung up on a big breaking ball. And that brings up JT Realmuto. Realmuto 1 for 3. We misfired on the Fox tracks, obviously, but in looking at the strike zone on the MLB at bat, that was a strike. And so Ozuna, I'm sure when he goes back and looks at the video, we'll see that knuckle curve, as you called it.
Yes.
Brocale probably taught him that. There it is again.
That's it. Well, it's the 6th home run that Jeffers has given up. That has been an issue for him. His struggles with lefties and righties, as many of these Texas Rangers pitchers have done. This is a ballpark that surrenders some home runs.
JT takes in.
You can almost read the reaction, particularly the corner outfielders tonight, on both of Stanton's home runs. Neither outfielder moved a whole lot once that ball was hit.
Realmuto walks. So another homer by Stanton, a 2-out walk to Realmuto. It buys an at bat for Ichiro. For the Marlins, it's been a good night, except the injury to Justin Bour, out with a strained oblique, right oblique. Listed as day-to-day. The Marlins face Cole Hamels tomorrow night, so you expect that Bour's not going to be in the lineup tomorrow night. And maybe against Yu Darvish on Wednesday. Ichiro center field, sends DeShields back. He's there and makes the catch. Bottom of the 8th in Texas. Giancarlo to right. And it's 4-0. Hashtagging, all right? Summer Days Grand Cayman trip can be yours. Fox Sports Florida and Southwest Airlines giving you a chance to win an all-inclusive stay in the Caymans for the Labor Day weekend. Hashtag Southwest Summer Days. Sweeps, missed that. Hashtag sponsored at Fox Sports FL. Hashtag Southwest Summer Days Sweeps and hashtag sponsored at Fox Sports FL for your chance to win. There's your game summary. 4-0. Miami on top. Rich Waltz along with Todd Hollingsworth. Impressive stuff from Adam Conley. Impressive stuff from Giancarlo Stanton.
And I think for Conley, an outstanding performance against a very talented Texas Rangers team that hits for power. Not only kept them off the scoreboard, in the yard, made pitches in some big spots. That fastball was really, really good. He needed that slider a few different times to get a couple of big strikeouts, but 7 solid innings. I'd say on some level, the way the year had gone, I know he'd been good on the road, but 7 innings here at this ballpark. Wow, tremendous start.
Against this ball club. And Kyle Bearclaw is in the ball game right now. Bearclaw facing Delano DeShields Jr. Then you've got Carlos Gomez and Sin-Soo Choo. And with more on Adam Conley, let's check in with Jessica Blaylock. Jess?
Yeah, guys, I had a really interesting conversation with Conley yesterday. He said that before he got sent down, he felt like he was trying too hard to multitask on the mound. So this time around, he was going to simplify it and just attack hitters. And that's what has impressed Juan Nieves the most so far tonight. The fact that Conley was able to attack hitters and his command. Very efficient command for Conley tonight.
Yeah, boy, you aren't kidding, Jessica. 5 strikeouts, no walks. 65 strikes out of 97 pitches. And Bearclaw comes in and walks the leadoff man here in the 8th. So DeShields is aboard. This is one of those ballparks where things can turn in a hurry. Real Muto quickly out for a visit. And here is Gomez, who is 1 for 3.
With a 4-0 lead. Bearclaw, all the motivation to stay aggressive here against Carlos Gomez in the top of this Texas Rangers lineup. Shields 19 steals, 24 stolen base attempts, but I don't believe would be much of a threat to run. Down 4 here in the 8th.
Gomez a free swinger. He's 1 for 3. Bearclaw gets a strike. Gomez, of course, a longtime Milwaukee Brewer, traded to the Houston Astros. Remember that whole trading deadline musical chairs with the Mets. Time called. The Mets were ready to pull the trigger. They had arranged the trade for Gomez. It went sideways, and the Mets were left holding the bag. And all of Mets Nation thought, oh, they missed their opportunity. And then the Mets regrouped and ended up getting Yoenis Cespedes. And that worked out pretty well.
Happily ever after.
And you wonder if the original trade had been made. Now, Gomez is a nice player. He's a 2-time All-Star. But Cespedes absolutely carried them into the postseason. You wonder if that happens. If it's Carlos Gomez.
Well, I think Gomez is a very unique player. Incredibly talented. He's unique in that, you know, maybe his personality a lot of times will play into sometimes the success that he has on the field. There's been a few spots he's been at where it hasn't been all roses. He's had some issues around his game and some struggles to go along with it. But since arriving here in Texas, has been embraced. His game has flourished. Combination of great defense, good speed, and power. And they've really, his career has been resurgent here, if you will.
You're right. It was more thorns than roses in Houston.
Right.
He was actually released by the Astros.
Well, that's kind of what I was getting. It's so interesting. I mean, Houston's 250 miles away. I mean, you know, what's the difference? Well, you get into maybe organizational philosophy, personality, emotion, a lot of things that do factor into ball players and success they have on the field. But why would, you know, again, not fit 250 miles down the road, gets over here, and whew, it's been a great ball player for these guys.
Bearclaw just missed, and the count is 3-2. That had the plate and right on the letters. That one could have gone either way. Another 3-2. Got him! Swing and miss at a slider. Big strikeout for Bearclaw.
Well, Bearclaw really confident in throwing this pitch back to back. Goes to it again. Have to trust that you're going to get the swing and miss. He trusted it. You see right there, Carlos Gomez goes outside the zone. Big strikeout.
So here's Choo, the lefty bat, who is 1 for 3. 7 innings of Adam Conley. Bearclaw has an out with a runner on here in the 8th. 2-homer night for Giancarlo Stanton. RBI double by Marcell Ozuna as well. Stanton has driven in 3 of the 4. Chew a liner. Rojas fires to first. Gets by Moore. Stays in play. DeShields to second, and Moore falls over and slips. Or else he may have had him at second base.
I think you're right, Rich.
That ball hit looked like the lip of the dugout and stayed in play.
Well, DeShields didn't get a great break the second time away from first base. You see the catch here. Quick throw back across. Gets by Moore. It stays out of the dugout. He only gets a couple steps, but Tyler Moore down to a knee.
Throwing error on Rojas allows DeShields into scoring position. Here's Andrus, who's 1 for 3. And a good live fastball from Bearclaw for strike 1. Slider didn't come far enough, and it's a ball and a strike.
Hard throwing Keone Kela up in the bullpen for the Rangers.
Breaking ball in the air, shallow left center. Yelich approaches, calls, and has it in Bearclaw. A nice 8th inning. 4-0 Miami to the ninth. Florida is brought to you by Southwest. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. By Jeep. And by your South Florida Honda dealers. The ballpark is still in Arlington. The new ballpark will be in Arlington, just a little closer to the Giant Cowboys Stadium. This will be home for another 3 seasons. Or 2 seasons if everything goes by schedule. I remember when this was brand new. This ballpark opened back in 1994. Jeffress continues, the right-hander to Tyler Moore. Bounces one foul. Derek Dietrich, Miguel Rojas for Miami in the 9th. Second inning for Jeffress, who worked in the 8th and gave up Stanton's solo homer. AJ getting ready. Ramos has a couple of saves on this road trip. That ball's crushed right center field. DeShields back, and he's there and at the track. That's the second time Moore has clubbed one to that very spot. And DeShields has had to work hard out there tonight. Don't let the mustache fool you. That was Cole Hamels. Don't let the beard fool you as well. And of course, Dan Straley going for the fish. That's tomorrow night, 7:30 for Marlins Live. Preston Wilson joins Craig Minervini. Here's Dietrich. Derek is 0 for 3. Texas in the 9th. Beltre, Napoli, Odor, and Lucroy, Mazzara, if anybody reaches. Jeffress misses, and it's 2-0. Mets tonight are in San Diego. That one is just beginning. Phillies are home, trailing Houston 3-1. That's top 4. Atlanta's in Arizona. That's scoreless. Bottom 2nd. The Cubs lost to the White Sox. Tough one to take for the Northsiders. 3-1. That was at Wrigley. Milwaukee not on the grid. They did not play tonight. Dietrich walks. A 1-out walk. MLB.TV every night, every device, every out-of-market regular season game. And you get them live and a free subscription to At Bat Premium. #1 app for live baseball. Blackout, other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV for details.
Miguel Rojas steps into the box. 1 for 3 tonight. A couple of really nice at bats. His last base hit to right. 2-strike line drive.
And a strike. The two teams that Texas faced on that road trip, the team that swept them in 4 and the team that they swept in 3, met tonight in St. Pete. And the score, as you would expect, was the team that swept the Rangers beat the team that was swept by the Rangers. Baltimore 5-0 over the Rays in St. Pete. Baltimore is getting closer to 500, 48-51. Rojas, a chopper out to short. High flip there. Whoa, and a throw that ends up in the dugout. My goodness. Rojas is still in pain with that left arm. He's going to be awarded second base, but he's having trouble. He's been playing in pain since that dive behind second. And what in the world is going on with Rougned Odor at second base? Look at the pain on Rojas's face. This is just tough to see.
Yeah, this is a tough one to read all the way across. High flip here, able to secure the out at second base as Dietrich slides in. There's no play at first base.
What?
Rojas is 2 steps past the bag. Rich, there's no analysis for that. I don't know what to throw at you.
I mean, he's falling over, but take the sack, right? You don't want to throw a pick six.
The high throw, I mean, that stops the play as a middle infielder, right? If there's any variation, especially on a double play ball, if there's any little thing that's off, the throw's 1 step the wrong way or a throw's a step high, you typically get the out and you let the play happen, and that's the end of it. I have no idea why the play continued past that. He must have seen Rojas limping or something that would have triggered. He thought he had a play, but he threw it in the dugout on the fly.
And Rojas was well past the bag at that point. Now, as we feared with Rojas, let's watch the swing. And you see the follow through, and well,
Mike Napoli's already stepped off the bag at first base. He's not even there to receive a good throw. Even if Odor believes it, Napoli's telling him the play's over. Runner in scoring position for the Marlins. Let's see if they can capitalize.
well, Odor made 22 errors last year, and that's so defense for him right now still a work in progress. The 23-year-old. D. Gordon has doubled and scored. Rojas out at second. Now, if you were not with us, Rojas diving for a ball earlier in the game, came up, brought the trainers out, was in incredible pain. We thought initially it was that thumb. Remember, he busted it, put him on the disabled list. But instead, he started to swing that arm and looked like it was a left shoulder or upper arm. Gordon swings and misses, and he strikes out. Bottom of the ninth, A.J. Ramos will try to complete the deal. 4-0 Miami. This call to the bullpen is brought to you by the family of Week for Life scratch-offs from the Florida Lottery, with a top prize of $5,000 a week every week for the rest of your life. The longer you live, the more you keep winning. That's Winfinity. You must be 18 or older to play. Play responsibly. Florida Lottery call to the pen brings A.J. Ramos in. Now, it's not a safe situation, but in this ballpark, it pretty much is. And with this ball club that he's facing.
Good numbers for A.J. Out of the bullpens, but throwing the ball very well of late.
He'll get Adrian Beltre to start it. Mike Napoli and Rougned Odor. Clean, crisp Coors Light, cold, hard facts. Say that 3 times fast. Magically, it appears. All-time doubles. Beltre is 16th on the all-time list. 602.
He's got a chance to climb about, what is that, 3-4 spots here in the next couple weeks.
Breaking ball from Ramos is a strike, and it's 0-1. Now, Beltre has 3 hits tonight, and so he is 8 shy of 3,000. He's been swinging like he wants to get it all tonight. He singled in the first, singled in the fourth, singled in the sixth.
G. Ramos picked up a couple saves in Cincinnati. Obviously did not pitch yesterday.
Beltre leading down. That foul tip knocked the mask off of Real Muto, and Beltre picked it up. Now Pudge is going into the Hall of Fame. And Adrian Beltre is headed there as well.
Most definitely.
Bouncer, he's got another hit. He is 4 for 4. Wow. Well, outside the telecast, we kind of dismissed the fact that the Marlins would have a chance to watch history. He's got 4 hits here. He's 7 away.
Contemplating the guilt you're going to be feeling on Wednesday.
No, that'll be.
If he gets there by Wednesday, I mean, I'm not sure what to say. That would be amazing. It would sum him up. I mean, there isn't really anything he can't do on a baseball field. I've watched part of it. Got to be a teammate with him very early in his career in Los Angeles. Good teammate. He's now one of the team captains. 4-hit night.
Now Napoli, Beltre at first. Ramos misses in.
Well, you asked the question, A.J. Ramos in a non-save situation when pitching with 2 or fewer days of rest. 1.13 ERA on the season. Now, if he gets stretched out and gets a few more days of rest, 3+ days of rest, ERA jumps to 8.78.
Not a strike. 2-0.
Typically, as many relievers are, the more AJ works, the better he is. You see his workload for the week.
Beltre's running, pitches up and in, and it almost hits Napoli. Obviously no intent there at this part of the game. Here's a look. And that fastball obviously got away from him.
Well, certainly A.J. Ramos not trying to make trouble for himself right now. He's got the 4-run lead.
A strike. Four 0, ninth inning. Beltre at second on a 4 for 4 night. Napoli ready. Hard hit. Dietrich's got it. On to first in time. Nice play by Derek Dietrich at third base.
Really was. One hop smash off the bat of Napoli in a 3-1 count. He's coming out of his shoes. Gives some ground. Little nice drop step onto a knee. Quick look at second. Chase Beltre back and a strong throw across to Tyler Moore. One down. A little weak of the eye right there. Well done.
I like the fact that Dietrich has picked up the Martin Prado process of moving towards the bag when he throws. It's something that Prado does so well. And Dietrich does it and does it well here in the ninth. Now Odor. Ultra aggressive. Fouls it back. Lined into a double play. That still is one of the key plays of the ball game. That scrambling stop by Moore at first and getting a double play to end the fourth. If it gets by and goes into the corner, that's real trouble. Tyler Moore's got that one. Well, at least he knocked it down, and he gets to the bag just in time. Ramos was in the vicinity. Moore figured he'd take it himself. 3 guys were at the bag.
Had it all the way. Tyler Moore knocks it down. Another hard hit ball. To my eye, it looked like AJ. I guess AJ would have beaten Odor to the bag. Did a nice job of getting over, but Tyler Moore decided to take it himself and not risk the toss. Odor hustling all the way.
Shutouts are not easy to get in this ballpark. Rangers have been shut out just once this year here and just twice all season. Angels got him in the 9th. Lucroy in the box. Marlins 5 shutouts as a staff. No surprise the Dodgers are up there at 10. Beltre at third, Ramos ready, and a 1-0 to Lucroy. That's up.
That's AJ's two-seam fastball that he's struggling to command to the inside part of the plate. The right-handed hitters, well, it's serving its purpose. It's certainly getting their attention, keeping them honest. Lucroy some history with Ramos as far as at bats, 2 for 5.
This is in, and it's 3-0.
Great start again by Conley tonight. Only the 7th time this season the Marlins have been able to get 7 innings from their starter.
And a strike. Ramos was 3-0 on Napoli and got him on the grounder to Dietrich. 3-1 to Lucroy. And he comes back into the at-bat to get to 3-2. Full count, 2 outs. Bottom 9. Ramos. Line down the line. Foul. It's a big wall down there in left. It stretches from foul pole all the way out to Miami's bullpen. Ramos ready. Beltre's at third. Another 3-2 to Lucroy. Just missed. Did not miss. That was a strike. That not only had the plate, but it had plenty above the knees.
Well, it might be where that ball ended up that would have deceived home plate umpire. Muto's glove just above the ground. That's where it is where he catches it, not where it crosses the plate.
And it's front of the plate is where not only the strike zone is located, but that's where Fox Tracks and all of the technology that grades the umpires captures the ball. So here's Mazzara. Tying runs on deck, runner on the way to second. Real Muto's going to throw, and Rojas saves a run. Has to make a backhand pick. That can't feel good with a sore shoulder. JT taking a shot.
Nice job by Rojas to keep that on the infield.
That'll be a stolen base for Lucroy. Mazzara's got pop. The man on deck has got pop. And Ramos would be well served to end this now. There's Joey Gallo.
Well, he's not trying to find out, that's for sure. Absolutely right, Rich. He really needs to bear down on Mazzara. Mazzara in the middle of Middle of a real rough stretch. It's our 0 for 3 tonight, as we've told you all game long. 0 for his last 24. You want to get the guy who's struggling. You're not ready to find out how far Joey Gallo can hit a baseball.
You know, Ramos usually gets into a ball game in his 4-pitch repertoire, finds out what's working. He's 50-50 right now. Ball strikes in 20 pitches. What is working?
Well, his breaking ball has been effective. In fact, he trusts it the most still. I mean, the fastball, particularly to the, well, now away to Mazzara, but in on the right-handers has not. He's not been able to go get strikes on the corner.
Not able to get a strike there. And you got Gallo waiting on deck, the tying run, and a real home run threat. A strike. Mazzara's bounced out, flied out, struck out. A dozen homers. In the air, right center field. Stanton back, has room. And has it. Ball game and a shutout. Only the second time the Rangers have been shut out at home all season long. Adam Conley for 7. Giancarlo hits 2. Ozuna knocks in a run with a double. Bearclaw and Ramos bring it home, and Miami wins the first in Texas. 4-0 the final. Fish win it. Some final thoughts from Arlington after this.